Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, ranking every single takeover in NBA 2K20 in tiers E through S. We're going to start from the bottom, go to the top, make our way up the list. And for those of you who have been subbed to me, you know we do this format in a lot of different ways. We've done pie charts, we've done badges, now I'm about to do takeovers with this. And I've done the takeover ranking 1 through 8, but that's my general consensus. What we're doing in this video is putting a couple different spins on it. So we're going to talk specifically 3v3 to start the video off. Then specifically 2v2, average those two numbers out and show y'all what that comes to, and then also give you guys my general idea behind which belongs where. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoy the vid. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Let's try to get this one to 600 likes in the first 24 hours. Appreciate all the support lately and all the good just new subs coming in and stuff like that. I appreciate y'all, and I gotta show you guys some love. But anyway, like I said, hope y'all enjoy. Let's get started with this. Now before we get started as well, I want to let y'all know you will absolutely disagree with something on this list. There's got to be something on here that you're going to disagree with. This is my list right here. These are my opinions. And me personally, I play in the stage 3v3. I play in stage 2s. I don't really do much park playing, okay? So understand most of these ratings are based on the most competitive situations possible. And understand that this right here with E tier having post score takeover in it for the 3v3 specifically, in my opinion, is like just a no-brainer. The fact that post takeover is never going to be seen as comp on 3v3 when it comes to stage, because dominant point guards be able to get up 3-pointers easy. Even slash takeover is pretty weighed down when it comes to 3v3. At least it fits into like a pick and roll sense. But post takeover, you got to give the ball to the dude in the post. Generally, you're going to get easy, wide open twos off like pick and roll slips and pick and roll lobs and stuff like that too. So to absolutely just try to take a contested two, whether it be off a drop step, post fade, whatever it may be, it's just not worth it. That's my opinion. And like I said, this list right here is going to be my opinions, and it consists of the experience that I play of this game. And like I said, for the most part, it's competitive stage 3s, and it's just not seen as viable on 3v3. I'm sorry to any post scorers who, see themselves playing 3v3, and props to you if you do, because you're at a complete disadvantage. The whole point behind a post score is going to be make it, take it, and to just dominate in the sense of taking twos. So then we have D tier. I got shot creator and playmaker takeover. Now the reason that these are low on the list, I just feel like just in general, they're not very good takeovers. Now, are they more useful on 3s than they are 2s? Actually, I don't know. I mean, technically they could be more useful on 2s than they are 3s in the first place anyway. And you will see that when we get to the 2v2 list. But again, the whole thing with the shot creator takeover, it's mostly just like a why would you not choose sharp takeover when it comes to the 3s. You're going to see that's very high on this list. And then playmaker takeover, it has its perks, but it's not really dominant in the sense of every other takeover, but it's so balanced. I don't know if you guys are going to feel me on that and like kind of agree, but I feel like playmaker takeover, it helps your teammates hit shots. It makes people stumble a little bit. It makes you a little bit faster as well. You get the blow bys and all that stuff too, but it's just not really dominant in the sense of that. So anyway, playmaker takeover is not horrible, and neither is shot creator takeover, and that's why I have the D tier rather than the E. And you're going to see post takeover, I'm going to give away a little spoiler. Post takeover is the only takeover you're going to see in the E tier when it comes to any of these lists, whether it be 3s, 2s, the average between everything, and then my general just opinion on it. So anyway, moving along, like I said, keep in mind this is always the 3v3 only, and we're going to, like I said, cycle through all the little catches to everything. So in the C tier, we have slash takeover and glass takeover. So I think overall, slash is one of my favorite takeovers. Obviously, I pick it on most of my players, and it's very fun as well. But like I said, as far as the 3v3 goes, most of the time in the stage situations, you're going to be the other team's going to be giving up wide open 2s on the most part of your rolls and stuff like that anyway, because they have to respect the 3s so much. And really, it's not worth putting the ball in your hands as a finisher or anything like that. I understand maybe in an ISO player situation, it becomes more dominant, but at the end of the day, like I'm saying, it's literally just 2-point shots. And like I said, in 3v3, 3-pointers rule, and y'all know that as well. So to make up for missed 3-pointers, obviously glass takeover helps, and glass takeover is not really a flashy one as well. I would kind of correlate it with playmaker takeover. It's like the big man's playmaker takeover, where it helps you, track down the rebounds and stuff like that. I feel like you set bigger screens as well, which is another thing that's actually like very underrated about this takeover. I don't know if that's a fact, but me personally, whenever I see the glass takeover pop on for anybody else that I'm playing against, I just notice they start setting complete big bodies, and they just are out here killing people on screens. And again, it's not really seen as like a super comp takeover. Generally, you're going to be playing against a lot of rim sharps who have the rim takeover, but for anybody that's a non-shooting build, I definitely suggest this if you're not some sort of slasher. I would say glass gets the nod barely over slash takeover, in my opinion, for the 3v3. And then we have B tier, which is the rim takeover. So again, The reason that I lean toward defensive takeovers in 3v3 is because getting stops is going to be very important unless you have sharp takeover, in which case that's going to be the best situation possible. Whether you're a rim sharp, play sharp, even spot up shooter, whatever it may be, lock takeover can be seen as pretty good too. But anyway, my whole point is rim takeover helps a little bit, especially if you get switched on to a point guard. You play him really tight, take away the three-pointers, play for chase down blocks. Boom, if you have the rim takeover, obviously the point guard is just screwed in that sense. Even the big man on rolls and stuff like that too, and you're never going to be able to just straight up attack the paint when this rim takeover is popped on, because people are just going to be missing wide open dunks. Not necessarily wide open, but if you're anywhere near them, y'all know the deal with this rim takeover. It's nasty and it's really hard to deal with. So anyway, moving along to the A tier. And again, I really do want to stress as far as like the whole, especially like the hedge defense stuff too, where a big will step out to help on the guard and then boom, be able to return back to the paint and just make the lob catcher miss his alley-oop. It's a really nasty takeover. So then we have lock, which is, in my opinion, just a little bit more comp than the rim takeover. I would definitely say it's significantly better in the sense of moving it up a tier, but the reason for that is it's just so dominant in the sense of you getting stops on those good playmaking sharp builds. And I'm so serious, but like getting stops is the major turning point of every situation in the game. When you can get stops, boom, you get fast break points, or you just flat out stop them from scoring threes, whatever it may be. I'm just telling y'all, like, lock takeover is really like one of the most dominant things. Now, the one thing that sucks about this is that it's really hard to pop on. It's really hard to activate your takeover, whether it be just the fact that, you know, it's not very often that you can poke the ball free, or as a point guard defender, like say you're a 6'5" dude with lock takeover, it's going to be hard for you to constantly be getting blocks everywhere. I will say for them 6'8" pure locks though, bro, this thing is easy to pop on, and it's so nasty when it does come on. And I gotta say, it's a game changer, but it's not as much of a game changer as this takeover right here. So if y'all have played stage 3s, or anybody that's any good at point guard with sharp takeover, and this is the thing that we went into the year with, right? It said spot up shooter takeover, and we were all like, oh, it's gonna be trash. And then everybody was choosing shot creator takeover because they were like, well, that makes no sense. Boom, sharps are screwed. Oh no, they're not. Listen, man, that sharp takeover is something nasty. Like, you can literally hit 80 to 100% shots sometimes, even with no dead eye, no steady shooter or anything like that. When you do have the badges, it's even more crazy. And then on top of that too, you just rarely ever are going to miss, especially in the stage or even in park or anything. You're rarely gonna miss when this takeover is on. And honestly, I feel like this is like not even up for debate. It's by far the best takeover on 3v3, and we'll see what we put it for 2v2. So anyway, stay tuned to that. We're gonna make a quick little cut. So as we move along through the categories of this list, I'm going to start accelerating because we have less and less to talk about. So you're going to see this is the 2v2 rankings right here. I have nothing in the E tier because I feel like that's the rightful opinion. I don't think anything deserves to be this low when it comes to 2v2. The post takeover on 3v3 is like almost useless in my opinion, just because like I was saying, you can get wide open twos anyway. So there's literally no benefit to it. It doesn't help you like work into a pick and roll sense where you catch lobs or finish dunks that much better in the first place either. So again, just understand, this is my truthful opinion. It's not like I'm filling in like takeover badges in here just because I want things to look cleaner. No, we're just doing this how I feel like everything deserves. So anyway, D tier, we have the playmaker takeover. In my opinion, like I was telling y'all, I think overall playmaker takeover is the worst one in the game. Just from a consensus standpoint of, like I was saying, it's not really that great at anything. It does help your teammates shoot a little bit better, but in the 3v3 sense, they can stay at home. On 2v2, it is a little bit tougher to deal with, but honestly, when you compare it to anything else in here, C tier, B tier, A, S, I just think playmaker takeover stands out as the worst takeover in the game. Now let me know if you disagree. And this is the thing too, I don't want it to be. I want this to be fun. I want this game to be fun where you can get ankle breakers on like on demand when you have this badge and truly just be snapping people and feel unguardable if you're a good dribbler. But that's just not the case in my opinion. Like, you can literally only do it on snatchbacks and half spins, and it's just whack. And then when you compare it to even like shot creator takeover, not only does shot creator takeover give you a boost as to your like off dribble shooting, and it still gives you the ball control boost, believe it or not. I don't know if y'all know that. Also, I gotta plug myself on this too. I did a video earlier in the year. It was explaining the attributes boosted by every single takeover in NBA 2K20. So long story short, I'll put it like this. Playmaker takeover is pretty whack, right? Shot creator takeover is also pretty whack, but it still gives you ball control boost, which is nice to know, and so does slasher, just so everybody's clear on that. Lock takeover and slash takeover are by far the best attribute boost you can get in the game. Glass is the only one that gives you +10 to your rebounding. Sharp's the only one that gives you +10 to your 3-point shooting. There's a lot of stuff that you could check out with that video, so definitely go check that out if you haven't. Anyway, moving along to the C tier. like I was telling y'all, with shot creator takeover compared to playmaker, you can do the space creator hop steps and just be snapping people's ankles on that and get a wide open jump shot in the whole same motion of it. And then on top of that too, just better shooting, whether it be the off dribbles or even, you know, regular standing threes. And I just feel like this takeover is a lot better than the playmaker takeovers in general. It's probably better than the glass takeover as well when it comes to 2v2, but I had to put them in the same tier because it's not significantly better. But anyway, to speak to the glass takeover again, y'all know the deal. You track down rebounds easier. It does become a bit more cloudy on the 2v2 court because generally if you're a glass cleaner, you're probably going to be guarding somebody that's in the corner and they're already giving up a free rebound anyway because you have easy positioning. It is a little bit more cloudy on the 2v2, but you do fit in as a big a little bit better in that sense too. Honestly, like I was saying, shot creator takeover definitely is better than glass. It's just you have to put them in the same tier because I don't think either of them are just as good as these two right here. So moving along to the defensive ones in the B tier, we have rim and lock. Now, I put lock a little bit higher than rim for the 3v3 just because it's a more perimeter defense oriented gameplay and like style, but I feel like they go pretty hand in hand when it comes to 2v2. Again, the thing that makes lock kind of tough to deal with is that it's hard to pop on when it comes to, like, you know, activating the takeover. Rim's a lot easier to activate, especially on the 2v2 sense as well. However, again, it's kind of the same problem as glass takeover. If you're a rim protector and you're playing with a smaller guard, you're probably going to be stuck in the corner. Now, me personally, I run my 6'9" finisher when I'm on the twos, and I play with a tall play sharp. I'm talking 6'5" to 6'7" sometimes even, and I like to guard ball. So even me with slash takeover, I still get pretty good amount of blocks because I'm guarding ball, I'm guarding the ISO, I'm playing for the chase down blocks. If I had rim takeover, I'd be speeding through that takeover meter. It'd be insane. But long story short, it does get weighed down a little bit in the sense of how you're kind of stuck guarding the corner half the time because this game's so built on ISOing at the one with the two-way slashing playmaker and then, you know, having the rim sharp in the corner. Long story short, we'll move along with this. We got sharp takeover in the A tier when it comes to the 2v2. Could this be put in the S? I suppose, but it's really tough to be a true outside point guard. Like I'm talking a 6'1", 6'2", that like the ones that rule the 3v3 court on the 2v2, just because, like, again, the meta is straight up two-way slashing playmakers that are just gonna hop dunk your 6'1" self all day, and you have no chance at defending that. So that's why sharp takeover gets weighed down a little bit. If you could throw sharp takeover on a 6'5", you know, two-way slash play, I'm sure a lot of people would do it, but the fact of the matter is you can't really do that unless you build it in a really weird way. Yeah, I know there's already people in the comments talking about, yes, you can. Yeah, but you gotta, like, I don't know, there's so many stipulations to it and horrible ways to make the build. But anyway, again, sharp takeover just gets weighed down a little bit at the fact that it doesn't belong on the 2v2 court. As for the S tier, we have post, which went all the way from E tier in the 3v3 to S tier on the 2v2. The reason for this is because it's make it take it. Contested 2-point shots, even if they're efficient, aren't really the way to go when it comes to 3v3. Same goes for slasher. Slasher was in the C tier for the 3v3. These two takeovers right here, completely unstoppable in a 2v2 make it take it sense where, you know, you can just keep on taking twos, keep getting the ball back, and literally just win games off going 11 for 11 in the paint. And you can speed through the takeover quite a bit. You can kind of force a shot a little bit easier than anybody with sharp or shot creator or playmaker takeover would be able to do, all the offensive ones. And like I was saying, I mean, you can, the thing that makes slash takeover so dominant on twos too is you can do flashy passes. Boom. Any of y'all who have watched my videos too with, like, you know, playing with my actual slasher on the twos, I've put y'all onto this play style where I play with a point guard that has Hall of Fame flashy passer. It takes literally 2 dunks for me to get takeover. And then, boom, you just come out here ISOing and stuff off the top with slash takeover. It's very hard to stop. Obviously, you're going to put the rim protector on you. You start having help defenders crashing from the corner, and you can dot your teammate really easy. I almost consider this playmaker takeover just because it's a guaranteed double team every single time. And I'm sure a lot of post scorers consider that for themselves too. So anyway, to move along, I'm not even going to average these out just because it's basically the same exact thing, and this video is running a little bit long. So I'll just go ahead and tell y'all how I really feel overall about every single takeover. So I'm not going to repeat myself a bunch just explaining like what takeover does what, because we've already done that a bunch of times. But again, this is just kind of showing y'all what I have for my final overall ranking of every takeover. And again, this isn't like specifically 2v2, specifically 3v3. It's just me kind of saying which ones are the most effective in each sense. So we have playmaker coming in the D tier. Again, I just don't think it's all that useful. We got shot creator and glass cleaner. Not the best ones. You could definitely pick better, whether you're a big man and pick like rim or slash or something like that. Or if you're a guard, definitely pick sharp. But again, moving along, we got the 2 good defensive ones. Rim takeover is definitely a lot easier to pop on. lock takeover is better in the sense of like, I said better, like, anyway, it's definitely better in the sense of like the actual attribute boost you get, and it's more effective too. I think it's just, it's harder to pop on than rim takeover, especially because, you know, the more blocks you get, the more your takeover goes up. Same goes for lock takeover as well. Obviously, the higher you have rim protector, the badge itself, the more your takeover is going to go up as well. But again, it's just easier to pop this on because you deal more with the actual rim protecting stuff, and it's hard to get the poke balls and steals and stuff like that. Post takeover, I would put higher, but the fact of like 3v3 weighing it down so poorly, and the fact that you can never go on 3v3 with a post score and really be like comp, it just kind of weighs it down in my opinion. As far as like, you know, its most effective way of being used, definitely in the S tier, but again, it kind of just gets weighed down from the fact that it's a little bit limited in the sense of like what courts and like play styles you can use with it. And then in the S tier, we have Slash and Sharp. I think these two are by far the best takeovers in the game. Now, I think even far and above, this one is way up here, but I mean, just to put them both in the same category, it probably is a little bit disrespectful. I should probably put Slash right here, but I will say, just in the sense of like how good it is on 2v2, it kind of like brings it up. But again, this is just kind of my consensus and my ranking on this. If you have a disagreement and you want to let me know, feel free to drop a comment. If you made it to the very end of the video, put takeover in the comments to show your support that you made it all the way through to the end of this part of the video. Like I said, we could try to get this one to 600 likes in the first 24 hours. I'd really appreciate that. And like I was saying, definitely go check out the other video where I was showing all the attributes that get boosted by each takeover. I'll probably try to put in the end of screen annotations that you're seeing pop up right now. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed. None of that, take it easy, man. Peace.